So, as I said, welcome to the MediaEval 2020 Multimedia Evaluation Workshop. First of all, I'm going to tell you a little bit about MediaEval. So, this is our 11th workshop, and MediaEval Tasks have now, over those years, been a basis for nearly 800 working notes papers, conference papers, theses, and journal papers. So on our website, if you haven't discovered it already, there's a bibliography page where you can check those out. So if this is your first time at a MediaEval, you are in a very vibrant and active community. And if it is your 11th time, then welcome back. And it's been really an amazing first decade and now first year of the second decade. So we start out with this image from an illuminated manuscript. So this is what we're, the MediaEval workshop this year, we're all at our writing stands, like the monk that we see here, and we're writing by ourselves. But you know, this is a COVID year and we're completely online, but we hope that the feeling that we can give you in the workshop is really interactive and that it will feel a bit more like this, where we have a lot going on and we're discussing with each other. So traditionally, the MediaEval workshop emphasizes this interaction. And we really hope that you'll meet new people, and we hope that you will discuss a lot and that we'll all learn a lot. Okay, so some housekeeping. Oh, so first of all, okay, yeah. So the workshop is, we have over 100 people that are registered to take part this year, and those people come from 28 different countries. So here you can see the countries on the map. So welcome to everybody. Now, we have some workshop logistics to cover. So if you are a task participant, please make sure that you have uploaded a link to your 3-minute video to EasyChair by the end of Saturday, anywhere on Earth. So you're going to upload this 3-minute video, this information, of course, on the website and in the email, but I just repeat it. And then you're also going to present live during your session. So be ready during your session, because when it's your turn, the chair will pass you the control, and then you have to share your slides. So just be poised and ready to do that. And also keep your presentation to the 3-minute limit. The chairs are going to be reminding you when your time is up, but we want to make sure that we do that because we want to make sure that we stay on time and have plenty of time for discussions, plenty of time for questions. So in this way, MediaEval is a bit different than maybe some other conferences that you've been at or workshops. So the talks are really short and we spend a lot of time talking to each other. So remember, it's not just about presenting, but about discussing and about asking questions about other tasks. When you're presenting, do keep your camera on, and also in the discussion sessions as much as possible. So we want to make it really interactive like that. So let us see who you are. If you're listening to a presentation, then it's not so critical, but that's the point. So now, if you have any questions about workshop logistics, so I'm Martha Larson. I'm the overall coordinator of the workshop. So you can direct those questions to me at the info desk. We also have a logistics team who are working, so you've gotten emails from Stephen Hicks, for example, and those other people are working behind the scenes to help keep the logistics running smoothly. So in Discord info desk, and I'll come back to that a bit later, you can ask any questions that you have about workshop logistics. Okay, so then about social media. So MediaEval is on Twitter, so do follow us and do tweet about the workshop, about presentations, about your own presentation, other people's presentation. But please don't share the GoToMeeting links, don't share the Discord invite, and don't share the Zoom link, because we do not want to get Zoom bombed, or we don't want people who are not interested in what's going on here to gate crash. So anybody's welcome to sign up, but we do want to make sure that we don't get we don't get visitors that we don't want. So don't share the links, please. So now we'll get on to MediaEval Tasks. So MediaEval offers shared tasks in the areas of multimedia analysis and multimedia access and retrieval. And our special focus that sets us apart from other benchmarking initiatives is human and social aspects of multimedia. So we're interested in those problems that relate to human and the social aspects of multimedia, how people interpret and experience and use multimedia. Our tasks focus on multiple modalities. So we have music, visual content, text, context, and sensor readings, and we bring this all together. So there's a large variety of tasks, and we hope that you learn a lot from the other tasks in addition to the one that you yourself participated in. So then this year we have 10 tasks, and I would like to say here at the beginning a big thank you to all the task organizers for all their hard work that makes these tasks possible. So there's a large number of people who are working behind the scenes to make these tasks possible. So yeah, we're really grateful to that. And so now let's start with our guided tour. So we're going to go through all the tasks so you have an overview of what is going on. And okay, so let's start with the task. So the first task is emotion and themes in music. So I pass over to Philip to tell us about that.
Hello, everyone. My name is Philip, and our task is called Emotions and Themes in Music. And the goal of this task is basically, given the music tracks, the raw audio signal, we want our participants to build systems that would predict the tags that are related to emotions and themes, like emotions like happy, sad, the typical one, but also we are focusing a lot on the themes like epic or funny, or is it advertising music? And there is a lot of interesting tags that our participants were trying to predict. So next slide. So yeah, our organizers of this task is me, Dmitry Bogdanov, Alistair Porter, and Min Swan, and we are all from the Universitat Pompeu Fabra in Barcelona, the music technology group. And all of the data that we used for this task is open. It uses the MTG Gemendo dataset that has annotations not only for the moods and themes, but also for the genres and instruments. And all of the audio is available under Creative Commons license. So there is no copyright problem with using this audio for the research. So that's one of the good things that we have. And so far, we had 6 teams participating in this year. And in total, 21 runs submitted. And if you want to learn more details, you can go to the link and see the formal task definition, or just come to our presentation on Monday, and you can learn all about how our participants were teaching the computers to recognize the emotions and themes given the music.
Thanks. Let's speak to Konstantin.
Yeah, hi, my name is Konstantin. I'm from Similar Research Laboratory located in Norway, and I'm going to present our task, Fake News, Coronavirus, and 5G Conspiracy. So, goal of this task is to classify different tweet text and the tweet graphs for early detection of misinformation spreading. So this task was inspired by an idea what digital wildfires can consume social media in the same way as normal fires consume normal forests. So if one person just publish some kind of misinformation which can be very sensible for society, it can spread very far, and it can also cause some social consequences in a real world. So the good example is recently appeared a conspiracy theory about 5G is actually connected to corona or causing corona, or even there is no such a thing as coronavirus, it's just 5G radiation causing all the symptoms. So to verify is it possible to fight against these digital wildfires, we decided to go into Twitter because it's a platform on which you can easily collect a lot of data. And we built up our system which can collect all this information. And actually we collected not only text for multiple tweets related to this topic, but also we built a lot of retweet graphs, which shows how information spread across Twitter accounts and how these accounts are connected to each other. So in this task, we ask participants to classify text, contents of tweets, and graphs to three main classes: 5G and Corona conspiracy theories, which is talks about exactly this connection between 5G and Corona. Other conspiracy, which just discuss other stuff, like, for example, 5G is not existing technology, or there is no Corona, or something like this, or normal non-conspiracy tweets. Next slide, please. So in this task, we got pretty high interest, and Also, we collected a huge data set for this task, but it's also was not possible to annotate all these tweets, so we selected some smaller amount and annotated this data manually, divided into different test sets and shared to participants. So we used material correlation coefficient for this, for cross-team ranking. Yeah, so we got 28 registered teams and got plenty of submissions, which we discuss in details in our session. So please come to our session, ask questions, discuss stuff, and yes, this is very challenging task also because people tend to delete data from Twitter. Okay, thank you.
Flood-related multimedia.
Hi everyone, greetings from Greece. This is Stelios Andreadis, and I will introduce you to the flood-related multimedia task. This task is organized by the Information Technologies Institute, Department of the Center for Research and Technology, Hellas in Greece, and the Alto Adriatico Water Authority in Italy. It is our first year organizing a task in MediaEval, so we are very happy to be a part of it. The objective of the task is to build a classifier that will be able to distinguish whether a tweet is relevant or not to floods in a specific area of interest. In our case, it's the Eastern Alps partition in northeastern Italy. We have selected to use Italian tweets in order to encourage researchers to move away from a focus on English. And we have asked them to use not only the text and images of tweets separately, but also to investigate their fusion. Next slide, please. The dataset that we provided to the participants consisted of around 5,500 tweets that were manually annotated as relevant or irrelevant by experts on flood risk management in the area of interest. And about 2,300 tweets were provided as test set. There were 5 submission runs, 1 run for fusion of textual and visual information, 1 run only with text, 1 run only with visual features, and 2 general runs where the participants were free to use whatever data they wished. The evaluation was performed with the F1 score metric on the test set, and out of the 10 teams that registered initially to the task, 5 teams submitted their results and their working notes paper. Thank you very much. I hope that you will find our task interesting, as well as the whole workshop.
Thanks. So now we go on to Insight for Wellbeing.
Okay, hello everybody. So the task here is we just try to answer the question about the personal air quality can be predicted by using other data that easy to obtain or not. The motivation is around that how we can get the information from the surrounding environments about the weather, air pollutions, urban perceptions, and also for the lifelog history of the people. And this information, whether we can have to have people to decide when, where, or what to do outside, and why to do that, and also care about the health. It's mean like we expect to develop some application that they can encourage people to go out to enjoy the environment, to do exercise in the safe place. For the task, so we gathering the public open data. So the task is mean we want to use the public open data from internet, from any third party, and plus with the lifelog data. It's been like your photo, you capture the photo every day, and also your note, your log about during the time you're working outside. And whether we can use this information to predict the air quality at the place you go or not. I mean, like, if, for example, if you have the routes every day in the same place, whether we can have ability that you also use smartphone, capture the picture, and automatically you can know that, okay, you are in the good AQI or unhealthy or very unhealthy. Okay, please, next slide, please. Okay, so we have two tasks. The first one, we assume that we don't use any images. We assume that we can get the data from internet, from station, from all the open public data, and then use this information. You can have ability to predict the AQI at your place. Okay, at your place, and the task two, and we can use the lifelog image data set. And we also divide that whether you use only the image to predict the AQI, or you can mix the images with another open data to predict AQI. And then we have 11 team registers, but only 4 teams submitted result and working note. The data set we collect for 1 month and in the Tokyo center. So we have 5 routes we repeat every day by walking people and also by car, and we have very special sensor box to capture the local AQI as the label. And we gathering all of the open data from the Japan government, and also we ask the volunteer to capture the image automatically, like 5 seconds or 10 seconds. We capture 1 image during the way they walking or the car driving. And unfortunately, that the data set is not public for everybody. So if you want to use this data, you need to sign some agreement with organizers, and then you can freely to use that data sets. Okay, so that's welcome to our task. And if you have any question or want to discussing, just join our task in 14 December. Okay, thank you.
All right, so my name is Steven, and I'm an organizer for the Medico task. So Medico tackles the challenge of using multimodal data to perform different tasks within medicine. So this is the fourth year we've held Medico at MediaEval. So this year, the task focuses on automatically generating segmentation masks for polyps found in the gastrointestinal tract. So for this challenge, we specify 2 subtasks, where the first task is generating these segmentation masks with high accuracy, and the second task also adding sort of efficiency or generating these masks as quickly as possible in order to achieve real-time speeds. Next slide, please. So this year, we had 32 registered teams, of which 18 submitted results and 17 submitted their working notes paper. For task 1, we had in total 41 runs submitted, and for task 2, we had 14 runs. Task 2 required an additional step of submitting a Docker file, which might explain why the number is a bit lower than the first task, but that's how it is. And then common among all tasks this year was that all use some form of deep learning. And I think this is probably the most submissions we'd have for Medico this year, so that's good. So I hope to see you at our session this Monday.
Hello, my name is Benjamin, and I have the pleasure to present to you the Newsmages task in this year's MediaEval. I'm quite sure everyone who is reading news online has encountered these small boxes that you find besides or below articles, which tell you should really consider reading another article. These boxes frequently have not only the text or the link to the article, but also images. And in our task, we wanted to find out which image is a good match to an article, as well as can we detect whether an image has a high chance of actually being clicked. On the second slide, we can show you the task outline a bit in more detail. Exactly, so subtask 1, you get a set of images as well as a set of texts describing the articles, and the task to the participants was to find a good match between the two. And in the second subtask, we wanted to get a predictor that tells us, given an image, what is the chance that the article will be clicked or not. And I organized this together with Andreas Lommatsch and Özlem Özgübek, and we are looking forward to meeting you at our session. Thanks.
Everyone, my name is Laura. Greetings all the way from Costa Rica. And along with a couple of colleagues in TU Delft University in the Netherlands, we organized the No Audio Multimodal Speak Detection task. So most of the works that have to deal with human behavior analysis, one of the most important cues, most important things to detect first in order to assume a bunch of other important aspects of a human interaction is when a person is speaking, people in general. And this is really important because for how long you speak or the way you are speaking tells a lot about what you're feeling inside. But it's maybe obvious that in not all scenarios you can actually have a microphone in people's faces to record audio, so the way that people are speaking. So for example, the task that we have this year, it was during a speed dating event. And probably people don't like to be recorded when they're trying to find the love of their life, whatever that entails. So we have in the one hand the importance of detecting speaking during these kind of interactions, but on the other hand, you don't want to invade people's privacy or make it uncomfortable during the event itself. So how do you tackle that? Next slide, please. Thank you. So the way that we propose in this task, and as a hypothesis that's been useful during the last couple of years, is using the movement of a person while they speak as a co-allocation cue to detect when the person is speaking. So in social sciences, it's already being found that when we talk, we move more. Right now, I mean, I guess if you see my video, you can see my hands going all over the place while I speak. And that is exactly the motivation that is behind this task. So the way that we do is for a real event in a real scenario in the wild, we give a lot of participants wearable sensors. So they put it like a conference badge, kind of, and that was recording acceleration. So they recorded the body movement of the participants in the way that you see in the picture. And we also recorded camera from above. And the idea from this task is from those two different modalities that are both recording our way of movement, can we detect when a person is speaking without using any audio? So we have a couple of submissions. We have one participant. Sadly, this year we didn't have that much, but we're really looking forward to see the results that came up of that this year. So hoping to see you all on Tuesday. And yeah, any questions we can get during that session.
Oh, speak to privacy now. So, hello everyone. I'm Joran from Radboud University, Netherlands. And as one of the organizers, I will briefly introduce you this task. The general aim of Pixel Privacy is to raise people's awareness of privacy and possibly provide users with some fun tools for protection. It focuses on the contradiction between user intention and potential artificial intelligence caused misuse. In the slide, you can see an example that when user shares a high quality photo on social media with the comment "lovely hotel." It got 18 likes, so not too bad. But the user may not know that due to this photo's high quality nature, it will be promoted to more users and even be used to train some machine learning prediction models. Oh, next slide, please. Given this example, our question is, okay, how to protect our data from such misuse? And to answer this question, in this year, because of privacy, we develop image transformation approaches that can fool the AI-based image quality assessment model to predict low-quality scores on our images. But at the same time, these transformations can maintain or even increase the visual appeal of images. So you can find in this slide that 4 protected images from our participants this year. For all of them, the AI-based quality assessment model predicts a very low quality score. But through our user study, people really like them. So, and so am I. I think they are very beautiful. So if you also find these images beautiful and would like to know more about the techniques and also the thinkings behind those images, welcome to join us for Pixel Privacy.
Hello, I am Alba. I'm very excited to present the 3rd edition of the Predicting Media Memorability Task. So this is the first year that I'm actually part of the organization of this task, but we have a great team that has been also working on this task for the past 2 years. So the team is coming from France, Romania, Ireland, and UK. So the goal of the task is predicting how memorable a video is for the viewers. So once we have a video, we want to predict the probability of a video to be remembered. And yeah, there are many things that make influence on this. So not this year, we wanted to include not only the visual content, but also the audio. And we were excited to explore the different sources of the task. So we explore the short-term and long-term memorability. Short-term is, if you remember the video in the first few minutes, and long-term between 24 and 32 hours after watching the video for the first time. So this year, the difference with previous editions is that we use videos with more action and with audio. And we use the videos provided by ThreadB 2019 video to text dataset. And next slide, please. Yeah, thank you. So here you can see more examples of the video and the memorability scores. So you see that there is a big difference between the different type of videos. In the corner right, there is like a beach and calm that's more similar to the videos from last year. And then we have football, basketball, funny videos, different things happening. So we really want to study and learn what makes a video memorable. And this has like many applications in the advertisement companies, but also for educational purposes, and also how to study how the memory works. So this year we have 14 teams registered, and finally 9 teams submitted their work. So we have 28 runs. And yeah, we are excited to see the presentations from the participants and know more what are their approach. So if you're interested in attending our task, please come next Tuesday to our session. Thank you.
Hello. Yeah, not too fast. My name is Pierre-Etienne Martin. I'm one of the organizers of the sport task. So the organizers are from Bordeaux and La Rochelle. It's a consortium of computer science lab and also the sport faculty of the University of Bordeaux. And we tackled the problem of action recognition, and actually fine-grained action recognition, because we apply action recognition on table tennis. The goal of action recognition in table tennis is to provide tools for trainers and students, which could be used to improve the performances of the players. For example, you have an input and we are interested to extract the stroke when it's happening and what type of stroke has been performed. Next slide, please. So participants are asked to provide a classification method, and they apply it on TT stroke 21, samples of TT stroke 21, which is a table tennis dataset that we have recorded at the University of Bordeaux with players from the university. This dataset has been annotated with the students and experts in table tennis. For this task especially, we asked to classify trimmed videos offered 20 different stroke classes. This year we had, I think, 22 subscriptions, but finally we had, I think, 10% that had access to the dataset because you need to accept particular conditions. And at the end, we had 5 full submission and 5 working note paper. So you are welcome if you want to participate for next year. Thank you.
So thank you again to all the organizers for their presentations and for their work. And indeed, we're really looking forward to the presentation sessions and to the technical retreat discussion sessions. So that gets us to the final segment today, which is about how the workshop is organized. Okay, as I just mentioned, we do have 2 types of sessions. So, or 2 types of sub-sessions. So each session, if you look in the workshop program, you can find the program on the website, in the email that you got from us, or else also on Discord under the plenary channel, the plenary chat channel. So if you look at that program, you'll see that it's structured into a series of sessions, which have 2 parallel tracks. Track 1, the first track, takes place here on GoToMeeting, and track 2 will take place on Zoom. And then after the presentation session, where everybody will give 3 minutes, it starts with an overview presentation where the organizers talk for about 10 minutes about the task. And then we go through all of the participant presentations. So every participant will talk about 3 minutes. And then there's a time for questions and answers. And after the presentation session, then you stay in the same track and you go to Discord into the technical retreat. So the Discord has 2 channels, voice channels, Isengard voice and Winterfell voice. So we're doing a little bit of a medieval play on words here for those of you who recognize that as castle names. So you go from your presentation session into the Discord technical retreat, and there you'll see everybody from the presentation session, but you'll have a much better chance of interacting and asking questions and talking to people about what they did, what were the main results of the task overall, where should we go in the future, and where should the task go in next year. So again, just please don't share the workshop links to these different things. These are in your email. So check that to get the links to GoToMeeting. Obviously, you're here, so you have that Zoom and Discord, but please don't share. You're welcome if you have colleagues. Registration will remain open, so people can register at any time and receive the access information. But they should get it through the registration system and not because somebody has tweeted the links or something like that. Okay, I think that's clear. So let's talk a little bit more about Discord. So I think a lot of people have already logged into Discord. There's a browser version and an app version. We do suggest that you use the app version, but the browser version will work as well. And here where you're seeing the view of the plenary text, and you'll see that there's two types of channels. There's text channels, and then there's voice channels. And you basically jump into a channel just by clicking it, and then you're in. For the voice channels, you'll see people listed below the channel, so you can see who's in which channel here. Now, on the right, you can see all the different participants, and you can see whether they're online or not. So this is our overall Discord server where we do the interactive parts of the workshop. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about that in detail in the next slides. So I first mentioned text channels are here, so text channels. So what are we doing with those text channels? As I already said, we have an info desk channel, and we'll try to help you with questions. This top channel is the plenary text. That's where you land when you first get into the Discord server for general announcements. And then there's this introduce yourself channel. So that's great. Everybody should go there and just say a couple words about themselves so that people can get to know you, because ideally we want to meet new people at the workshop. So you can introduce yourself here. And then there's one channel for each task where you can ask questions. Okay, so sorry, I'm very enthused about the info desk because I listed it twice. So yeah, so that's the info desk is where you go to get help in case you don't know where to go next or just have a question about something. So then we have the voice channels. Oh, sorry, very important. Before we get to the voice channels, let's talk about questions in advance. Now you have just gotten an email from the organizers, which gave you access to the preliminary proceedings, the link to the preliminary proceedings, and also a link to the questions in advance or QIA spreadsheet. Now, QIA is something that we did in past years during the physical workshop, and people really liked it. Let me explain to you how it works. So basically, we took everybody who's registered for the workshop and just kind of randomly assigned them to papers that we thought like, oh, hey, that would probably be an interesting paper for them to read. That was meaning that, okay, you don't get assigned papers from your same task. So you go into that spreadsheet, check to see where your name is, so it'll be next to up to 2 papers, and then you read those papers. Okay, so they're 2-page papers, as you know, because as if you're a participant, you wrote one. And then you formulate questions for the authors. And you put the questions into the corresponding text channel on Discord. So for example, I'm giving you a pixel privacy example. So then you click into pixel privacy and you put your question there. So here's an example I made. So I said QIA, so they know it's a question in advance. Could you tell us a little more about how semantics can be leveraged to extend your approach? And then I picked up the URL of that paper right from the spreadsheet and put that there so that everybody knows which paper that this was question is referring to. Now, question in advance encourages you to have a look at the proceedings in advance, engage with the proceedings, and make sure that you figure out what's going in the other tasks and realize, hey, there's all these relationships between medieval tasks, and it's very interesting to look around. But you need kind of you need to read a couple papers before you get into the perspective that task. So question in advance encourages you to do this. If you want to read more than 2 papers, that's fine. But you got assigned to really encourage you to ask questions about that. So then we have the voice channels. So next we're going to be going to plenary voice. And then we have 2 other voice channels here, Isengard voice and Winterfell voice. These are for the breakout sessions, as I mentioned before, and we'll also be using them today during the icebreaker. We have a coffee break voice channel, so you can go there anytime and just hang out with other people in the workshop and talk about informal things, like you're on a coffee break, maybe even grab a cup of coffee or tea to do that. And then there's also a meeting room, and that's just for if you meet some people and you want to, have a discussion or something like that, and the other rooms are full, then you can just pop into that room and talk in your small group. So those are the voice channels. So let's explain now how the icebreaker will work. So at 5 p.m. CET, so please convert that into your respective time zone. Join us on Discord voice, the plenary voice channel. So jump into here, and then you would have gotten this Discord invite in the email from Stephen Hicks. And then so bring your best medieval concepts like Queen of Teen Kingdoms or Knights on the lunch break. And then we're going to play Drawful together. This will be led by Andreas Leibeseiger and Matthias Lux from Klagenfurt University. And they're going to lead us through playing some Drawful. They'll explain it to us. So we'll go to the voice plenary channel, and then they'll explain, and then we'll split out into the two other channels, and then we'll play this game together, and you'll get to know some people, and you'll also get to know Discord better. So this is what we're going to do. But first, we have one other order of business here, and that is talking about photos. So I want to give you a bit of medieval history, and I'm going to show you all of our medieval photos now from these 11 years. So this is the first medieval workshop in Italy in Santa Croce di Fossobanda in 2010, and then we were there again for 2011, co-located with Interspeech, and then we were there again in 2012 around the time of ECCV 2012, and then in 2013 we went to Barcelona, and that was at the same time as ACM Multimedia. And then we were again in Barcelona in 2014. In 2015, we again went back to be co-located with Interspeech, and we were in Schloss Lürzen, and there's a group picture there. In 2016, you see that we went from our traditional medieval backdrop. We went to the hypermodern at the Netherlands Institute for Sound and Vision in Hilversum, the Netherlands. And this was together with ACM Multimedia 2016. And then in 2017, we're back to our Middle Ages motif, and we went to see the Book of Kells at Trinity College Dublin. And here's our group photo in the long room from that year. So then you see that in 2018, we're back to hypermodern at Eurocom. And finally, last year, we were also at Eurocom, co-located with ACM Multimedia 2019. And as you'll hear me say in the closing, in 2021, we're going to go to Bergen, Norway, and we're looking forward to that. And this year, we're online. Which is also, I guess this belongs to one of the hypermodern medieval workshops. But so you can see that, it's a community, and we are really happy to have so many new people this year, and we hope that you enjoy it and become part of the people that go from year to year and participate in medieval. So, but we have a problem because we have 2020 needs to be filled. And so what we're going to do right before the break now is that I'm going to stop sharing my slides. I'm going to ask everybody to find their inspiration and to turn on your camera and wave. And then we will have a break until 5 p.m. Central European time. So please translate that. Okay, so is everybody up for it? So some people are scrambling probably to position themselves a little bit better before I turn on the camera. So we'll just have people turn on the camera and wave, and we'll have a screenshot, and I'll let you know when I manage to get a good screenshot. Okay, so I'm going to.